On paper, you're okay. You're paying your bills. You're not drowning in debt. Your income is higher than it used to be. By most standards, you're doing fine. So explain this feeling. Standing in a store, staring at prices, thinking, why does this feel ridiculous? Why does everything suddenly feel out of reach? Why does money disappear faster than it should? It's not panic. It's not poverty. It's something quieter. A constant mental math running in the background of your life. You hesitate before ordering. You second-guess plans. You feel guilty buying things you used to buy without thinking. And the confusing part, this isn't supposed to happen when you're doing better. You were told that once you earn more, money stress fades. But instead, the stress just changed shape. And here's the uncomfortable truth most people miss. This feeling isn't about prices. It's about how the system around you quietly shifted. While your brain kept using old rules, nothing suddenly broke. There wasn't one moment where life became expensive. It happened gradually. Prices crept up a little here, fees appeared there, subscriptions multiplied. Small costs stacked quietly. Each change was easy to ignore on its own, but together they rewired how money feels. Your income grew in steps, but your expenses grew in layers. Old rules used to work. If you earned more, you felt safer. If you saved a bit, you felt ahead. Those rules assumed stability, but the environment changed. Housing stopped being a purchase and became a lifetime commitment. Education turned into a long-term payment plan. Healthcare became unpredictable. Even basics started competing for your attention and your budget. So while you're earning more than before, you're also supporting more systems than before. Your money isn't just buying things anymore. It's maintaining access. Access to comfort. Access to convenience. Access to normal life. And here's the unsettling part. Because the shift was slow, your brain never recalibrated. You're still judging affordability using an older version of reality. That's why it feels like you're failing even though you're not. Here's where the feeling gets really confusing. You're not struggling enough to panic, but you're not comfortable enough to relax. You're in the fine zone, and the fine zone is dangerous. Because when things are bad, you cut back hard. When things are great, you breathe easy. But when things are fine, you absorb the pressure silently. You don't change your lifestyle dramatically. You don't downgrade. You don't complain. You just tighten mentally. Every purchase gets weighed. Every plan gets delayed. Every decision carries a quiet, is this worth it? And over time, that mental load builds. Your money isn't running out. Your margin is. Margin is the space where money stops being emotional. And modern life has been slowly eating that space. So even if your numbers look okay, your nervous system feels like something is off. Because deep down, you sense this. One surprise expense could tip the balance. One bad month could force hard choices. That's why nothing feels affordable anymore. Not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because the buffer that made money feel light has been quietly erased. Here's the shift most people never consciously notice. Money didn't just get tighter. It got fragile. Fragile means things work until they don't. Your budget balances as long as nothing unexpected happens. Your plans hold as long as life behaves. Your confidence stays as long as income keeps flowing. That's a very different feeling from stability. Stability feels calm. Fragility feels tense. It's why you can earn more than ever and still feel uneasy spending $40. It's why treating yourself now comes with guilt. It's why you hesitate even when you technically can afford something. Because affordability isn't just about the price tag. It's about how much shock your life can absorb. In the past, fewer systems depended on your money. Today, everything is interconnected. Miss a payment, consequences stack. Lose income briefly, pressure multiplies. One disruption, many obligations react, so your brain adapts. It becomes cautious, hyper-aware, protective. Not because you're anxious by nature, but because your environment trained you to be. And once money becomes fragile, your definition of affordable shrinks. Even normal things start feeling heavy. This is the part that catches people off guard. You think the solution is simple. If I just earn more, this feeling will go away. So you push harder. You chase raises. You level up. And for a moment it helps. Then the feeling comes back. Because higher income doesn't remove fragility. It often upgrades it. More income usually brings higher fixed costs. Higher expectations get higher. Lifestyle maintenance, your life gets nicer, but also more sensitive. The floor rises. So while your paycheck is bigger, Your room for error doesn't expand the way you expect. That's why many people feel more pressure after a raise, more to protect, more to maintain, more to lose. Earning more treats the symptom, not the system. Affordability doesn't come from how much you make. It comes from how much slack your life has. Slack is what lets money feel light again. And without it, even a good income feels tight. Affordability isn't about prices going down. And it's not about earning endlessly more. It's about margin returning. Things start to feel affordable again when your life can absorb impact without stress. When a surprise expense doesn't hijack your mood. When spending doesn't trigger mental negotiations. When money stops demanding attention at every day. That comes from one shift, moving from a life that's optimized for appearance to a life designed for resilience. Resilience looks boring from the outside, but it feels calm on the inside. Fewer fixed commitments, more optional choices, more space between income and obligation. That space is what your brain has been missing, because money was never meant to feel tight all the time, even when you're doing fine. Once you rebuild margin, prices don't feel personal anymore. They're just numbers again. And that's when affordability quietly returns, not because the world got cheaper, but because your life stopped being fragile. That's the real fix.